Don, at Wartling Drive, or Close
Yeah,
rather, Wartling
20,
Close,
20 Wartling Close, that's where it is.
I've got a newspaper article where Phil Scott, the local councillor, is complaining about and saying in the Hastings Observer that oil was poured down the badger sets. And I've also heard that from somebody in the close that when they contacted the local authority and told them that the badgers were being abused, basically, um, the developer suddenly put up a big fence. Is there any truth in any of this, do you think?
Well, there's. Put it this way: it's true that the badger set has been terribly interfered with. Now, when it was interfered with 25 years ago, the badgers moved up. Perhaps I won't give the two other sites, and caused a lot of problems in people's gardens and all sorts of upset. Since then, the badgers, of course, have moved back into this set at Rectory Wood, which is on the north side of Wartling Close, where the developer is working. Mary Hunter, the Natural England representative who issues licences, issued them a licence to put a fence line straight through the middle of the badger set, which they did. Now, if that's the case, how can they say that there's no badger sets on the site, which is what the developer has since said? What he has done is tried to destroy the badger sets on the site, or the badger part of the badger set on the site, and it's caused probably one or more dead badgers underground, I expect trapped and all sorts of things, because that's what happened originally when it happened many years ago. Now the other thing is this, they've destroyed at least two other sets on the site, and the slow worms were some probably killed, and they've been terribly interfered with when they started doing the driveway, the groundwork for the new driveway into the site. And I understand there are probably grass snakes on the site as well. So there's much more, and I think by cutting the trees down and the tree line, they interfere with bat foraging as well. It's very serious consequences for what was part of the the nature site, Church in the Wood.
Local nature.
Hastings Council protected Triple SI site.
Oh, Marline Woods.
Yeah. Well, Marline Woods the other side of the Queensway.
Yeah.
That's another site that has separate problems and issues, totally different than.
Because that Wartling Close site, I looked at it on the map, and I've been down and had a look at it, and it's right adjacent to the ancient gill woodland that's given special provision in the plan for protection. Yeah, and that badger set must be massive, because
it honestly was massive. One of the biggest sets. There's another very big set at the other end of the wood, but the problem was 25 or so years ago, when it was all bulldozed and the dirt shoveled down, we found two skeletons of two dead badgers then, and a lot of the tunnel system is under the ground. Would be under the ground, and when I last visited, what we call implosion holes, where the badgers come up through the ground because they've been locked under the ground, and take the soil out, and all the soil disappears under the ground.
Right.
So you end up with a hole that's clean. It isn't like a normal badger entrance. Now, there were several of those up there before the developer started. So we know that the underground tunnel system was there, or is there, but you see, as the police went over, because they taken all the soil that they used, instead of taking it off site, which has got to happen eventually, they've piled it on to where the badger set is, and you can see that any time you like. Go up there. I've got photographs, but the police don't want to know because there's obviously no badger set. They couldn't see anything.
It's interesting, actually.
They're not taking anybody else's advice. They're only interested in what the developer says.
That's very concerning. Thank